Hi everybody, it's Marcy, and today I am playing with a die set that I got from SpectrumArtCreations, and it's called a slider pull tab die set. And this is the first day, I've had it for a while, but this is the first day I've pulled it out and played with it. And it's got all of these pieces in it. I'm not going to be using all of the pieces, but I wanted to show you what comes with it. So I am going to be using this one, and this one I'm not going to be using these smaller pieces for today. So I'm going to scoot them over here. And for ease, I'm going to be using my Cricut Cuttlebug. So, let me get my plates out here. And the first thing I'm going to do is cut this big piece and get it put on here. And these little circles. And I am going to use, where did it go? I'm going to use a bit of washi tape to hold those circles down to be sure they don't move. So just like that. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. We've still got a little snow on the ground, but it is trying to melt off, but it's a beautiful sunny day today. It actually snowed a couple of days ago, so okay. So I've got that set up. I'm going to pull out the Cuttlebug. I don't know that this will be completely in frame, and I apologize if it is not. And we're going to put that in. One of these days, I'm going to have to get me an electric die cutting machine, I think. Although actually I don't do a whole lot of die cutting anymore because I've got my scan and cut. So, okay, so that one is done. So, and there's my two little circles. Let me pull this off. And I know I'm working kind of out of frame. I'll get back in frame. And now I'm going to use this tag from the Cara Brandon kit. And I'm just going to cut it down a little bit using this tag die cut. So I'm going to get it on my sheet, and where'd my washi go? We'll use a little washi tape on that as well, just to be sure it stays where I want it. And we'll run this through. And I know cutting this isn't very exciting. The fun part is going to be putting this together, I think. So all right. And that cut beautifully. So I can put this away. And I can move my plates out of the way. And my dies out of the way. Oops. Okay, So I've got that little tag. Let me do a little weeding on this to get those circles out. Okay, now when this cut, it also made some score lines on this one. So I am going to use my ruler here just to help those score lines a bit. So we'll score there. And there's score line on that side. I'm going to score that. Okay. And then we've got this little flap right here. And it's got a score line at the top. And then it's got one here at the middle. And it's got another little bitty one down here at the bottom. I may need to do it the other direction just so I can get a easier handle on it. There we go. All right. So now this is going to seem kind of odd, but the first thing I'm going to do, it's got these 3 holes at the bottom, and this is the second one I've made where the holes did not line up perfectly, and I don't know if that may be user error, but for what I'm doing, it won't matter. I'm going to take, I need my holes to be a hair shade bigger anyway, so I'm going to go in with my larger 1/4 inch hole punch, and I'm just going to punch right over those holes. All right. So that's done. Now, okay, I'm having to think this through. So the first thing I can do, I had coffee dyed paper on the back of that tag, so that'll work just fine. I'm going to go in and do some inking around the tag. And then the 2 little circles that I punched out. My paper is double-sided, so I'm actually going to use the dark blue side. And they will become little reinforcers right there on that tag. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those down. Okay. And there's one. Flip it over and glue the other one down. There's two. And then I think for this tag, I've got some raffia here, and I think I'll just use that on the tag. Just like that, and I'll cut this off. That, so that's simple enough. Okay, now I've got these pressed flowers that I ran through my laminator, and I want them to go inside here. Something like that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm doing this all kind of, I knew what I thought I wanted, but now this is the first time I'm actually trying to make it happen. So I'm going to put double-sided tape on that. I'll have to trim that here in just a second. If I could sing it all, I'd sing y'all a song while I'm doing this. But I am not a singer. You can ask anyone in my family. Okay. So now let me trim off some of this excess tape. And the black marks on the laminating sheet are just where I wanted to have the flowers placed in there so that I would know the area I was working with. Okay, so that'll need to scoot up a bit. I'm going to see if I can mark this with the pencil. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. Still got some excess tape on there that's trying to grab on. Alright, let's try that again. Come on. Alright. Of course, you won't see the white when I pull the back of the tape off. Okay, so something like that. So, now this is where we have to, I just kind of have to take a leap of faith. And hope that I can get it. About where I want it, and that will work. Okay. So now I'm going to smush that down. Use my bone folder to burnish the tape down a little bit. Okay, so now I've got those pretty pressed flowers in there. So now I'm going to, on this little flap right here, I'm going to put glue on it. And glue that down. Okay. So far, so good. And now in these holes that I made, I've got, where'd they go? I've got some eyelets that I'm going to go ahead and pop in here. Use my crocodile to set those. Okay, and I'll come back to those here in a bit, and then the tag will go right in like so. But now what we want to do is be sure. Oops. All right. I'm going to put glue on this little bottom flap. And glue it down to the tag I just put in. Now, if everything works right, then, yeah. So the tag doesn't come completely out, but you've got this neat, and that, what was it called? Pull tab die set. So, but you do have a tag that, like I said, it doesn't come completely out because it's attached to that, but you could still write your little note on it, slide that in, and it's kind of hidden, but when you open it up, you've got those pretty pressed flowers. So that's kind of fun, just something a little different. So I think the last thing I want to do with this is I've got a little bit of lace here, and I'm going to feed it through the front, or one end through this eyelet. I've got way too much lace here. I'm going to have to cut a lot of it off, but that's okay. And the other end through the other side. Then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to take one end and go through the center and basically through the center top. Let me grab something to help poke that through. So I'm pulling it through, but I'm going over I'm pulling it to the top of the other one. Now I'm going to take this one and I'm going to feed it through, but I'm going to go to the bottom side of that center piece. Oop. Get it? I did. All right. Then I am simply going to tie it and make a bow. And you know how I am about bow making and my fat little fingers and how much trouble I have, but we will get it done. Oh, that wasn't so hard. Now I just gotta neaten it up a bit. And we'll trim that off, and we'll trim that off, and those can go into my scrap. So they're just a cute little ephemera piece. So there we go. So that is my slider pull tab that from the die set I got from SpectrumArtCreations. And that just makes kind of a fun little ephemera piece. So that's it for today, guys. Until next time, I wish you all a wonderfully happy, crafty day. And I will talk to you all very soon. Bye-bye.